Hi guys. So we have learned a lot of thing about the Metaclass. Okay. So in this particular session we are going to learn one application of Metaclass, that is Singleton Class. The Singleton Class is actually a class where the instantiation of class is restricted to only one object. That means you are not allowed to create multiple objects of the same class. Okay. This is very much important while you are creating a kind of suppose you are creating a connection object of a particular or to a particular database, right? That time it is not desirable to create multiple object of the same connection class. Okay, that time you have to design your class in a such a way that only one object is possible to create, and if you are trying to create another object, then it will just give you the old object. So the object instantiation is restricted to only one object. So before going to today's session, let us know what we are still now what we have already learned. So the first thing we have learned that type is a meta class from which all classes are instantiated, also the type class itself. That means type is the meta class of every class in Python. This is one aspect. So then another thing is, by using the type class we can create any class by inheriting other base class and adding attribute. So if you are going to create a class, you might inherit some other base class, or you are going to add some extra attribute to it. That is possible by using the type class. That is the second aspect. Then what are the other thing? Okay, the third thing is whenever you are creating a object or you are creating a class, okay, these three things are very much important. One is your call method, init method and new method, and if you are going to override those things, then you will get a new meta class of your choice, right? So here we have already learned this new method, right? So init method is very much similar to this. Only thing is, instead of new you just need to write init, and instead of class you need to pass the object, or the you can call the instance of the same object here as a first argument. That is the only difference, right? And call method is the same thing. It is the so right now we are going to learn the call method while we are going to create a new Singleton class, right? Okay, now let's start with Singleton class. Okay, so let's comment out all those things, right? Okay, so now this is my meta class. Okay, let me make you understand what is this meta class actually doing here. So you can see I am just creating a meta class whose name is my meta, right? And I am just inheriting this type, right, as a base class. You can call it a base class or meta class of my meta class, right? And here this is the instance attribute which will keep all the instance of object which are created from this meta class, right? Suppose you are creating a class out of this meta class, then this will just keep on adding this instance here, right? Suppose there is no instance, then it is okay that it will just return this. So that means it will just create a fresh instance, right? But if there is an instance, then this thing will have something or some instance value, right? Okay, so now you can see I am just creating a call method underscore call, which is definitely override the call method of the parent class, like the type. So here it is the type class. So type class call method I am just overriding here, right? So it is not going to call the type class method, type class call method. So inside this I am just passing here first if CLS means instance of this my meta class. So first thing it is taking if class not in class dot instance. That means suppose there is no instance is created right now, right? Then what is that? Then that means there is no instance till now have created from this my meta class. So it will go to the body, and in the body it is just invoking the call method of the parent class, that is the super class, is the, that means the type class, right? And adding this value to the instance, That means here first if it is not there, then it will be blank, but here you are adding one instance to it. Okay, so it is a dictionary, blank dictionary, but here you are adding the key and the corresponding value to it. Apart from that, I am adding another attribute, attr, right, and this value is 100. Okay, so these two lines will executed only when there is no instance. Okay, got the point? But if there is already an instance which are created from this my meta class, then what will happen? Then this will just simply return that instance. So the thing is, if there is at least one instance, suppose there is no instance, right? So first time while you are creating a class, it will give you one instance, right? Then that means this instance will become 1. And for second time someone trying to create another instance, that time this two line is not going to execute. That means there is no such instance creation happened, only it will return the old instance. So this way there is no possibility to create a multiple instance of the same meta class. Got the point? Again I am repeating in a better way. If there is an instance, then it will just return that instance. If there is no instance, then it will just create one instance. So that way we have only maximum one instance at any point of time, right? Okay, so let me create a class out of this meta class. Suppose class my class, right? Then I am just passing meta class as my meta, right, and pass. Okay, so this is the class I am created from the my meta class. Now I am going to create an object. Okay, so let object 1 is my class. So this is a singleton class. Let's better make it more appropriate. Singleton class. Okay, singleton class. Now I am trying to create one object. Okay, then the thing is, let me print the attr value, right? So this will just give me 100, right? In the next line I am just trying to change that value. Suppose I am assigning a new value to it. Let it be, okay, so better let it be a string, and string value is default. Okay, default. Okay, so it will give us default value. Then I am assigning a new value to it. New value to it, right? Then the next thing I am going to create another object of it, and just after creation of another object, then I will check whether the same changes we are find out in our new object or not, right? Print, then object 2 dot attr. Okay, so what I am trying to say here, the first thing, it will create a class, so create an object of this my singleton class, and then I am going to print this object dot one attr. So what it will give? It will give me default, because default is the value assigned to this attr attribute, right? And the next time what I did here, I just assign a new value to the same attr attribute. Okay, so the attr value now with a new value, right? And the next time what I did, I am just creating another object of the same class and trying to print the attribute of it. So if it is creating only one instance as per the singleton class concept, then this attr value need to have this new value. We just need to check that. Okay, let me execute the code again here. You can see, okay, new value, right? You can see, because this object 2 attr value right now new value, but this was done in case of object 1, but it is reflecting in case of object 2. That means both object 1 or object 2 both are object of a singleton class. That means both the objects are same only. So let me do one thing. Let me print that object so that you can get a better object. Object 1, right? Then print object 2. Okay, you can see both object 1 and object 2 are pointing to the same memory location. Got the point? So this is all about your singleton class. Okay, where one instance is possible. There is no possibility of two instance. Even if there is a two instance, different two instance, second instance with a different name, but it is pointing to the same instance. Any changes in the first instance will appear to be in a second instance. So actually only one instance is possible. Okay, thank you.